Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the senior night broadcast here for volleyball between the Mustangs and the Wahpeton Huskies. This is the final home game of the season. The Mustangs 27-2 on the year. The Huskies coming in this one 6-24. Joining me alongside again is Dan Wolf. Dan, it's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since we've been on the mic together. You know, you were in Vegas, I was in Arizona, so Wallstrom and Kanono called the football game against Mandan on Friday, this past Friday. So it's good to be back up here with you. Hope you enjoyed your vacation in Vegas. And you know, this will be an exciting way to wrap up. You know, the second to last game of the season. So it's kind of an exciting, exciting closure to the season.
It is, Jackson. You know, last home match of the season, senior night, chance to recognize what we've mentioned, you know, all throughout the year, how this is a very senior-laden group for the Mustangs, and they really rely on those seniors to provide leadership. So it'll be a great opportunity for the fans and families and coaches to recognize all that these players have brought to this program. And, you know, anytime homecoming, senior night, you know, you're always hoping to get a victory, and it's one of those, and we've seen a lot of these this year that, at least on paper, looks like should be an advantage for Sheyenne. Sheyenne was able to sweep Wahpeton in Wahpeton earlier this year. But, you know, as he said, it's the second to last match of the year, and it's a big match coming up next Tuesday as the Mustangs will travel up Veterans Boulevard to 9th Street to visit the West Fargo Packers, who've really come on as of late. You know, kind of the last time that we were broadcasting, North had kind of climbed up the Class A poll and was sitting at second place in the EDC, and here we have a situation now a few weeks later where West Fargo is kind of locked in a struggle with Fargo South for that second or third seed, and I'm sure both of them would prefer to stay in one or the other so that you're not on the same side of the bracket as the Mustangs as you're going through EDC tournament play.
And just to remind the folks out there, you know, I was checking out the bracket for the EDC tournament, and there is now another playing game, so it's going to be 4 playing games total. So the number 5 seed is going to have a playing game as well. So
with the addition of Horace, another team in the conference, yeah.
So only the top 4 teams will get an automatic bid into the quarterfinal round, and that will be hosted at the higher seed. All those quarterfinal games and the playing games are held at the site of the higher seed, and then the semifinal and championship games and the consolation semifinal and state qualifier games are going to be held at West Fargo High School this year.
So we should have a good one for you tonight. It is senior night. We'll have a chance to recognize and identify those senior players later on in the match. We're only a few seconds away from our national anthem and the announcement of the starting lineup. So we're going to send you down to the public address announcer, and we'll be back after starting lineups and the national anthem.
Special welcome to our guests from Wahpeton. This contest between the Huskies and the Mustangs will be played under the strictest code of good sportsmanship. The North Dakota High School Activities Association, the Eastern Dakota Conference, and the administration of both Sheyenne and Wahpeton High Schools encourage and promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of the opponent. As high school student athletes and representatives of their communities, the Mustangs and Huskies are committed to fair play, responsibility, and respect. They invite you to support their effort. Together, let us all help create an environment for high school competition that we can be proud of. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you stand if you are able, remove any headwear, and remain at attention as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. tonight's non-starters. First for the Wahpeton Huskies. Number 1, Tatum Schroeder. Number 2, Kennedy Bolda. Number 4, Latea Luther. Number 8, Anissa Haslering. Number 9, Casey Miller. Number 11, Nika James. Number 12, Addison Gurdon. And number 24, Kira Yancey. Now let's meet the non-starters for the Sheyenne Mustangs. Number 2, Kennedy Coulter. Number 3, Carla Detman. Number 6, Alexa Dorn. Number 11, Maya Bleo. Number 14, Jada Lamos. Number 15, Callie Tunstad. Number 21, Lexi Terhart. Number 22, Callie Dobbs. And number 24, Peyton Saxland. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for the visiting Wahpeton Huskies. A senior number 3, Reagan Wohlers. A senior number 5, Hattie Doctor. A junior number 6, Addie Rutland. A senior number 7, Madison Schaefer. A senior number 10, Emma Pontius. A junior number 13, Leah DeVries. And a junior number 15, Ashlyn Taylor. The Huskies head coach is Donnie Rickles. Assistants are Allie Madsen, Leah Bacco, and Tiffany Baker. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's see the starting lineup for your Sheyenne Mustangs. A junior number 1, Nina Engel. A senior number 4, Chloe Brown. A senior number 5, Megan Johnson. A junior number 7, Izzy Albrecht. A senior number 8, Haley Wattsdorf. A senior number 12, Brooke Johnson. And a senior number 13, Reagan Bogenry. Mustangs head coach is Leah Newton. Assistant coaches are Katie Richardson, Kevin Gray, Kyle Coy, and Christina Lindmeyer. The officials for tonight's match are registered by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and have been selected for their demonstrated ability to officiate. The officials for tonight's contest are Dennis Bosgrove and Mark Flanagan. Line judges are Emma Mertens and Jay Mertens. We ask for your support of our game officials and respect for the calls of the game. Tonight's medical coverage is provided by Essentia Health, the official sports medicine team for West Fargo Athletics. Your certified athletic trainers are Tessa Martin, Allie Hoffman, and Bruce Mortensen. Thank you to our sports medicine team for keeping our student athletes staying ready.
So, folks, the national anthem was played by Mr. Cam Holland, our PA announcer, 7th grade social studies teacher at Liberty, and the starting lineups were announced. Now it's time for some volleyball, Dan.
Well, Jackson, I think this is maybe an ideal situation for Sheyenne. It is senior night. You want to showcase those seniors, and not all of them play as much time as others and those sorts of things. And Sheyenne has wrapped up the number 1 seed for the EDC tournament. Nothing that can change with that. So, while I'm sure they're still looking to keep their record perfect, this gives Coach Newton an opportunity to play some of these girls as you see them hugging out on the floor, knowing that this is the last home match, at least for a regular season, that they'll ever play together. Obviously they're going to host a semifinal game on Tuesday, November 8th, or a quarterfinal game. But as far as the last time that they'll take the floor together as in the regular season, this is it for them. So really kind of a special night for all of these young ladies.
It's important to cherish those moments that you have with your teammates on and off the floor.
As time goes on over the years, then your memory starts to fade about particular scores or records and things like that, unless you were fortunate enough to win a state championship or something like that. But the things that you always remember the most is your teammates, and maybe it wasn't even a specific game, but a certain bus ride or an opportunity to share a laugh, or for someone to do something that made everyone kind of chuckle or whatever. Those are the things, and the friendships and the bonds that you form. These are going to be people that'll be special in your life for years to come.
Absolutely, Dan. So that was Chloe Brown with the first kill of the evening. Brooke Johnson, the first serve of the evening for the Mustangs. Great block up front there by Albrecht.
Yeah, good job. Theme we've repeated lots of times over the course of the season, the broadcast, just that size that Cheyenne brings at the net is we haven't found anyone yet, at least in the broadcast we've done. West Fargo has some length, but other than that, there really haven't been a lot of teams that can stack up with the Mustangs and their size up at the net.
Going to be set for Albrecht in the middle there, and she gets the kill. Her second kill of the evening. 4-0 now. Mustangs off to a fast start here on senior night.
In the last couple matches we've done, Jackson, we've seen some teams kind of hang around and play tough for those at least first couple of sets, even if they ended up being a sweep at the end. But Wahpeton is really struggling a little bit here out of the gate, not able to stem the tide, and so it's now 5-0 for the Mustangs, and they look like they've got things rolling tonight.
That's going to be an ace for Brooke Johnson. 6-0.
Hard to believe, Jackson, it's going to be November next week.
I know.
The fall is
it's
just
crazy.
flown by.
It gets faster every year.
We know that the Dakota Bowl, the state championships,
it's right around the
football
corner.
are just a couple weeks away on Veterans Day, and that means a couple weeks after that, teams around the state will be looking to kick off their wrestling and hockey and basketball seasons.
Yep.
And, pretty soon we'll be in the middle of that.
Yeah, the volleyball state tournament's also a week after the Dakota Bowl, from the November 17th to November 19th. That will be held out at Bismarck once again this year, for those that are wondering.
And so that is, in the time that we were both gone, Jackson, we had the Mustangs drop only their second match of the year to the Moorhead Spuds from across the river. A tight match, but a victory for the Spuds nonetheless. So
they beat us last year, too.
Yeah. The Mustangs still perfect in EDC play with only 2 losses on the season. And, certainly you want to feel like, and Cheyenne should feel like, that they're prepared to face anybody that's out there in the state. And a quick timeout from Wahpeton here as they're down 9-0 in set number 1. We'll step away for a quick break and be right back.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future, and if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
9-0. Brooke Johnson has 2 aces on the evening already. Another block up front there for the Mustangs. Johnson's going to set to Wasdorp. Wahpeton will return it. Wasdorp hits it backwards, and that's going to be the first point of the evening for the Huskies. Rugland serving for the Huskies.
So maybe that's what a youngish Wahpeton team needed, was just a little time to settle down and a little reassurance from the coaching staff that they have the capability of hanging in this as they get their first point of the night, as Albrecht just drops the hammer there. She's right down the center of the court.
She's always hitting down, it seems like. That's why she has such an advantage up front there, close to the net. Wasdorp serving now. ace from Wasdorp on her first serve of the evening. It is now 11-1. Huskies get another one there. And Hattie Doctor serving now, 5'10" senior.
Good action on that serve. Good knuckleball there. Handled by the Mustangs, dug out.
Yeah. Oh, hit around up front there.
I was going to say that was a double hit. They were a little slow on the whistle there. Bogenreef kind of said, well, hold on here, and kept hitting it. And
hard hit there. Oh, great dig there.
Wasdorf from the back row, but handled by the Huskies, and a kill there as they pulled to within 11-4 in set number 1.
That was a great dig by Wohlers, the libero for the Huskies, number 3. And the Huskies with another point there, so it's 3 straight now. Or excuse me, 4 straight. It was 11-1, now it's 11-5.
Bogenreef couldn't quite handle that, and Albrecht lost it for a second.
This one's going to go to Bogenreef,
and
that's
good
blocked.
Block at the net.
So the Huskies with 5 straight there after.
I think that was Lunneborg that rose up and blocked that one.
So Hattie Doctor having a nice series serving here. And the Huskies have cut that lead in half now. To the outside. Brown with the hit. Wohlers.
Smart
great.
play.
Oh, what a dig by Wohlers, but great effort. Just couldn't get it up in time. And
excellent effort by Wohlers there.
Breaks a 5-point swing from the Huskies, and senior Callie Dodd serving now. Her first serving action of the evening. (12-6) now. Great block up front. Another point there. That was by Johnson and Megan Johnson and Chloe Brown. (13-7) now. Mustangs still in front. Bonches serving for the Huskies.
Oh,
what an ace.
Miscommunication there.
The Huskies with some great serves tonight.
Wasdorf and Dodds each thought the other had it, and they let it drop between them. 13-8 here.
The Huskies have scored 7 of the last 9 points in this match. Bogenreef gets it over for the Mustangs. Great effort there. The Huskies are able to return it to Brown, and Brown finishes it off with another kill. Perfectly executed there. Great pass from Megan Johnson there in the middle.
A little bump set there that's obviously far more difficult to control as a setter, but Chloe Brown puts it away.
So Kennedy Coulter now serving.
Nicely done there.
Huskies are not playing bad at all right now. They dug themselves in the early hole. It was 11-1, and now it's 14-9.
Schaefer just split the defense there towards the left side of the court, and no one home for the Mustangs. 14-9 now.
For the Mustangs, you can't get complacent.
No, you got to, this is still a team that's been practicing and working hard, and And you still need to keep that aggressiveness going.
Bogenreef serving now. Coulter to Bogenreef.
Oh, nice touch
top
there.
spin on that one. That one just freaking sunk.
And just dropped. Everyone backing up in that back row for Wahpeton, expecting a little more pace on that one. There's a good serve. Wahpeton does well just to handle it and get it back in play as Wasdorp unleashes one.
That's the power you can get from Wasdorp. She was all EDC and all state last year. Bogenreef was also all EDC last year for the Mustangs. Ooh, mistimed that.
Mistimed that jump there a little bit by Megan Johnson, but Cheyenne maintains a comfortable lead, 17-10. Schaefer serving for the Huskies.
Coulter.
Quick set,
Ooh.
and it just climbs over
Megan
the net
Johnson.
there.
Interesting play there from Megan Johnson. Mia Engel now serving. Great hustle. Huskies are able to return Engel's serve.
Schaefer dug it out and got it back over, and
Oh, what a block.
there we go. Blocked into the net by the Huskies. Terhark there with that one. 19-10 now for the Mustangs in set number one. Handled by Engel.
That was a great hit from Doctor, but the Mustangs are able to return it. Engel just kind of bumped that one in the air, and the Huskies were unable to return that. Miscommunication in the middle, 20-10.
Oh.
And an ace there from Engel.
Emma Bonchus unable to handle that one.
Ooh, great kill there.
Oh, and yeah, caught the line. Cross court there for Doctor. Nicely done.
Nothing else you can do about that for
No,
the Mustangs.
no,
It was a
that-
great hit.
That was well placed.
So the libero Wohlers serving now. Engel to Coulter.
Oh, good job.
That was some
Not the
athleticism
cleanest
displayed.
exchange there, but they were able to get it. That one is out, and they're saying not touched
And they
by
made,
the Mustangs.
made up for it with the athleticism. 22-11.
Brooke Johnson back on to serve. She started the set with a quick 5-0 run for the Mustangs. See if she can finish this one off. Nice job there.
Bonchus with the kill in the middle there.
Her and Lundeborg are the tallest of the Huskies at 5'11", so they do have that. They do match up well with those two players up front with Cheyenne. Chloe Brown off the net and
just painted the line.
Yeah.
Was very close. Engel with a great dig there. And another great dig by both teams. Johnson sets it to Wasdorp, and Wasdorp with a great kill. Another well-executed set by Brooke Johnson. Perfect placement for Wasdorp to put a ton of velocity on the hit. And she will now be serving.
Handled by Engel there.
Returned by Wasdorp. Another hard hit, displaying the power. Johnson sets this one to Brown, and that one's going to be out.
Just too much for Schaefer to handle there. Good reaction, but an opportunity here for the Mustangs to put away the first set.
Set point will be served by Wasdorp. Oh, great effort there by Engel, but I think it's going to be a net violation there.
4 hits there for the Mustangs.
Engel can't get it over. 24-15.
So it looked like it was going to be a very quick set. As Wahpeton was down early, they've made it a much closer affair than we would have expected. It was still a 25-15 win here in set number 1 for the Mustangs. But Cheyenne, Wahpeton showed a little bit there, had a little fight to them.
Absolutely, and yeah, it was 11-1, and but they were to finish it off. Brown with the final kill of the first set there, and you know, this has to be a good experience though to just be out there with your teammates, and it was a. You can't get complacent out there. You obviously want to have fun and all, Dan, but you also got to still take care of business and treat it. It's another regular season game, and
that's right. And you don't want to feel like you're exposing any weaknesses or anything. As we're moving towards tournament time, you want to make sure that everyone's performing at a high level. So, Cheyenne was able to kind of dig in. They gave up that lead, and it was a little closer through the middle of that first set, but they are able to finish it off in good fashion.
The Mustang fans, when I was down in Arizona, I was looking at the viewership that we got for the Mandan football game, and we just want to appreciate that you guys are tuning in to those broadcasts. It was awesome to see 1,000 people were watching live. It's now over 5,000 views total. That's our most viewed broadcast ever. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in to watch those. We're very fortunate to be able to do this. Dan, I appreciate you being up here with me. I'm fortunate to be able to do this. We do a lot of we're doing a lot of great things, and it's just been awesome to see.
It's been a great experience, and we apologize to those of you who might be volleyball purists out here. That is not Jackson and I's native sport, but we surely enjoy being up here and watching all of these athletes compete and try their hardest, and that's really what high school athletics is all about, is the things you learn about yourself as you compete and be a good teammate and all the things that go along with that.
Well, absolutely, and the volleyball teams made it fun for us to commentate and watch. I mean, this is easily, on paper, the best regular season that this Mustang volleyball team has had, in their program's history. I mean, 27-2, you can't, nothing wrong with that if you only have 2 losses through 29 games into the season. So, the teams definitely made it fun to watch, and volleyball is a very fun sport to watch because it's a rally sport, and those rally sports, and when it comes to like volleyball or tennis or anything like that, you're
never out of
a lot of athleticism.
Yeah, absolutely. And you point out, Jackson, that this has been Cheyenne's strongest regular season, and certainly it has, their best start ever. I was taking a quick look at the standings out west, and Bismarck Century is undefeated as well in the WDA this year, and they sit at 29-2 for the season. One of their losses came at the hands of the Mustangs in the East-West crossover early in the season, and of course they repaid Cheyenne the favor at the Davies and Fargo Invite a couple of weeks ago. So, I imagine there's a lot of people that would love to see that matchup in a state championship game. But both of these programs know that you can't look past anybody. You have to take care of business and
Yep.
and don't be caught looking ahead. Don't look past someone. That's what gets you in trouble. As Wasdorp serves with the Mustangs up 1-0 in set number 2.
Yep.
Great job there by Terhark blocking that one.
Two 2-0 early start here in the second set. That's hitting the net, 3-0 now. And Dan, the Mustangs, if any team's going to do it, it's probably going to be this team. But, this program has not reached the state championship yet. So that's a goal that they still, have on their checklist. And, it'll be exciting to see if they can pull that off. So I think you just have to take it one game at a time. You can't, like you said, you can't look ahead of anybody.
No.
Especially in the playoffs where anything can happen.
Yeah. And especially, you get into that state tournament where one bad match, one match where you lose focus can mean the difference. There's Bogenreef drops the hammer, and Woller's unable to handle that one. But, that's so right, Jackson, that you just can't look past anyone. You get a little bit of a reprieve in that EDC tournament or WDA tournament where it's a double elimination situation. But at that state tournament, you've got to have your game together and be playing well for 3 straight matches. And if you don't, that's all it takes.
And that just gives the other team momentum, too.
It absolutely does, as Cheyenne goes up here 5-0 to start set number 2.
Same thing as the first set.
Yeah, a quick start by Cheyenne. And first set, we saw Wahpeton take a timeout. I think they were down 9-0 at that point. And they came back like a different team.
So Megan Johnson with another kill. 6-0. We'll see if the Mustangs can avoid getting a little complacent.
And Jackson, you pointed out that, I'm sure a disappointing record for Wahpeton at 6-24. We know that there was just an article in the newspaper the other day that the vote on the 3-class system for basketball is quickly approaching. Probably in about a month or so here, there's going to be a vote. And according to the story, it indicated that there was enough. As Wahpeton finally gets on the board there, Lunenburg finds the corner there. But they indicated that they have enough votes already to approve. I think they're looking for maybe kind of a definitive statement from member schools saying, that this is hugely approved, but they figure they have about 60% of schools approving of the 3-class system. And as has been talked about here, as Terhark paints the line, they say the vote, a similar vote, probably using the exact same criteria, would take place for volleyball just a year after that. So it wouldn't be shocking to see a vote about a year from now if the 3-class system passes in basketball, where something similar would happen in a vote for volleyball next fall, with those changes potentially starting in the fall of 2024. And obviously Wahpeton is one of those teams that would move down out of that top class. I don't think they're calling it A, B, and C, but a AA, A, and B. And
Same
Wahpeton,
kind of as football,
Wahpeton would be one of those teams that would go into that A division. And that's just become a fact of life in North Dakota, where we've got such a disparity in size of enrollments at different schools. If you live in West Fargo or attend or teach at or around the programs for West Fargo High or Cheyenne, we've just become used to being a big school. But for the Wahpetons and Valley Cities and Devils Lakes of the world, it's often difficult to compete at a high level in some of these team events, these team sports. And so we have this situation where that's one answer, is going back to a 3-class system, that's what North Dakota had always had. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out as Brooke Johnson serves with the Mustangs up 10-2.
Well, certainly, we saw that with football already made that change last year. So only the top team, only some of the bigger schools now are playing in the AA instead of these smaller Class A schools and these bigger Class A schools playing in AAA like it was in the past, where it was AAA, AA, and single A. Now it's double A, single A, Class B, and 9-man.
Yeah.
So, I think it's worked out pretty well for football.
I think it has, and I'm sure some people would point to maybe football being more of a safety issue when you might have kids that are, over 300 pounds and some smaller schools not having some of those bigger kids. But, I don't think it waters down the competition. I think kids just want to play sports. They don't join a sport because they're going to get to play a certain opponent or anything. Obviously, certain teams, you develop rivalries, and that means more to you, those sorts of things. But I think student athletes, they just want to participate. They just want to play. And I don't think it's so much that they get wrapped up in this situation of whether it's a 3-class or 2-class. Obviously, anyone who plays sports, there's some competitive fire that you have, and you're looking to have that ability to be competitive, to know that you have a chance. And for the last few years, we've seen in most of the sports in Class A, a pretty wide disparity between those teams at the top of the division or the top of a conference and those at the bottom. Bogenreef up to serve here as they're up 12 for the Mustangs.
This one's going to go to Brown.
Chloe
She
Brown
does get the kill. To the outside to Doctor. Deflected up front. Johnson to Dodds. To Wasdorp. It's going to be too strong. 13-5. Wasdorp to Johnson. Back to Wasdorp. Wohlers with the pass. Huskies able to return it. Johnson to Brown again. Great dig by Wohlers.
Yeah. Excellent job.
She's had quite a few of those tonight.
Oh, touch.
Another great dig. And Wasdorp kind of just slid and misjudged that.
Big hit from Bogenreef in the back row there. Schaefer delivers, but Dodds handles it. Bogenreef looking for that soft area in the D. Unable to convert. And Blado.
Nice rally here. Oh, it was a few Husky players just tracing towards the scoreboard table.
Great job by Schaefer negotiating, reminiscent of third or first baseman approaching that dugout on a foul ball that she navigated it and got a piece of it, just unable to handle it. As Engel on to serve with the Mustangs up 14-6.
Oh, a miss hit by Wohlers.
Yeah, miscommunication. Her and Schaefer collided there, both going for that.
15-6. To Brown, and she gets another kill.
Yeah, too much
Brown
to
having a great
handle there.
performance on the outside here on senior night for the Mustangs.
Engel serves that one into the net.
Boncha serving for the Huskies.
Handled there by Bogenreef, set up for Wasdorp.
Blocked,
off the block.
Too far. Deflection was too strong. 17-7 here in the second set. Coulter to serve for the Mustangs.
Good serve.
Oh, another dig there by Wallers. And a great dig there by Bogenreef in the back.
I think a net violation there.
Angle to Coulter. To Terhark on the outside with the kill.
Jackson, it is just, it's amazing how many players that Cheyenne can rotate in, and they don't seem to lose a beat, to skip a beat at all. They just keep moving. They bring in player after player that can either perform at the net or be an outside hitter. And they've got good servers. They're a complete team. There's certainly no doubt about that.
And that's why they're 27-2.
Yeah.
And hopefully they can carry, the success that they've had this regular season into the playoffs. But like you said, Dan, it's just been complete, and I think the Mustangs have had, their past 2 or 3 years they've had complete teams, and it's not just this team, but the 2020s team and 2021's team, they had complete squads as well. Just great outside hitters, great defensive specialists, great serving. It's just all around, and that's going to lead to records like being 27-2.
It really is.
Once or twice a year, especially with size. All the outside hitters for the Mustangs have a pretty good size, and their middle hitters as well. And that's where they're really, the advantage. That's where they really have the advantage, as we've been saying all season long.
Yeah.
And you got, Tungseth, Albrecht, Maya Blado, and just all those. Megan Johnson even tonight is having a great performance in the middle.
She is, and it's a team effort. Certainly there are other schools that have special players and those sorts of things, but as I was saying, Cheyenne just doesn't seem to fall off at all with anyone that they bring off of the bench. And that's a rarity when you have that luxury to be that deep. And it makes you feel a little more confident, I would think, as a coach, if there were some kind of injury to take place or anything, to know that you have players that can step in and perform just as well as Terhark finds an open area down the line. 21-10 here in the second set. I believe it's after set 2, Jackson, that the seniors are going to be recognized here tonight. So we'll be sure to provide you with coverage of that ceremony as the seniors and their parents are recognized here on senior night at Cheyenne High School.
Parents are starting to head down.
Yep.
The bleachers here. It's 22-10 here, late in the set. And Brooke Johnson, what do you know, is serving late in the set.
It's almost like we've seen that movie before.
It's every time. It happens to be her turn late in the set.
Yeah.
$23-10 now. Brooke Johnson looking to finish off the second set. Too strong, 24-10, set point coming up.
Doctor just long on that one. Set point.
And Brooke Johnson finishes off the second set with an ace. Perfect way to finish off a set. 25-10 this time out, and the Mustangs have a 2-0 set lead. And boy, another sweep is, it seems like Mustangs can just smell it right around the corner. It's crazy. The Mustangs have never been taken to 5 sets this year. I think that's another stat that is incredible to me, is the fact that the Mustangs have all their wins, have not been, done in 5 sets. It's been 4 sets or less.
Yeah, that is something. And we've seen some really good performances from some opponents that have come in here for the broadcast we've done, and yet Cheyenne has been able to handle everything. Hey, Mustang fans, we want to remind you that Essentia Health is proud to be the premier sponsor, of Mustang Media and partner with Cheyenne High School to make a healthy difference in the lives of the students and families we are privileged to serve. Essentia Health, like nowhere else. Well, we'll turn it down to the public address announcer as you can meet this year's seniors and their parents.
Accompanied by parents John and Mindy Bogan. Kennedy Coulter. Kelly Dobbs. Madden Irie. And Jill Irie. Brooke Johnson. Mike Johnson and Michelle Johnson. Megan Johnson, accompanied by parents Jared and Debbie Johnson. Kenna Peterson, accompanied by parents Greg and Lindsay Peterson. Lexi Terhart, accompanied by parents Thompson and Kelly Terhart. Carly Urlacher, accompanied by parents Keith and Robin Urlacher. And Kaylee Wasdorf, and now, ladies and gentlemen, the juniors have a special message for our seniors.
First off, we'd like to say thank you for coming tonight and supporting our seniors on senior night. This season we have a really special group. First for helping us grow not only as players but as amazing people. We have made so many great memories with you from bus rides to games. We love our seniors and all of their ways. They have always been great influences in our teams. You can always go get it. It's not just about volleyball. We asked all the teams in the bigger volleyball intervals, and we basically got the same answer tonight. Going to state, hanging out with everyone at team meals and pizzas, Zumba dancing, and team volleyball performance. As well as having 8 amazing players, we also have 3 amazing managers, or as we call them, managers. Our managers are always so helpful and supportive. They bring so much to the team, and you can always
We are about to kick off set number 3. Mustangs looking to get another sweep here on senior night. Mustangs took the first 2 sets, 25-15 and 25-10. Brown, Wasdorp, Engel, Johnson, or Brooke Johnson and Megan Johnson, and Bogan Reef out on the floor, and Albrecht.
And Engel in for Reagan Johnson, or I'm sorry, Megan Johnson.
Brooke Johnson, who finished off the second set with an ace, will start off set number 3 here for us. Great dig by Bogan Reef. And that's going to be a kill by the Mustangs by Albrecht. We want to remind you folks that we are doing the playoff game against Bismarck Century, the quarterfinal football playoff game tomorrow night. That's being played at Essentia Health Mustang Stadium. And Dan, that's going to be exciting, you know, to call our first football game we've called in a couple weeks, and it's going to be a playoff game. We paid $750 to do that. So
Mustang Media did, not Jackson and I.
Yeah.
We should
clarify,
be clear,
good point,
we don't
Dan.
have that
good
kind
point.
of money.
Mustang Media paid $750. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Dan. Yeah, not me and Dan. Yeah.
And for you, those of you who might be planning to tune in, it is a 6:30 start to the game tomorrow night, and not the traditional 7 o'clock. So I imagine we'll go live on the air probably 15 minutes or so prior to the game.
Yep.
So if you aren't able to make it out to support the Mustang team in person tomorrow for football, tune in to Mustang Media, and we'll do our best to describe the action for you.
Mustangs will have home field advantage throughout the entirety of the playoffs, as they are the #1 seed. So they'll have home games for the quarterfinal and semifinal games. And then obviously, as always, the Dakota Bowl is played up at the Fargo Dome. And it's going to be exciting, Dan, because Fargo Davies is, I believe, the #4 seed. So they are on the Mustangs' side of the bracket. So if those two win, they'll end up playing each other in the semis, and that's going to be a fun game. Because, you know, Davies gave the Mustangs their only loss this year, and it was not even close, 35-6.
No, it was not certainly Cheyenne's best day. So that does provide a little intrigue. You know, sports is always one of those things that it never ceases to amaze me, and certainly Davies is a very good football team, but you know, it seems like in sports you have teams that match up well against you, that take away some of the things you like to do or pose certain types of problems. You know, we saw that last year as Cheyenne, you know, always seem to have their hands full with Shanley, both in the regular season and in the playoffs. You know, and then they were able to really handle West Fargo High in the championship game. But, you know, those are the things. And so Davies, having given Cheyenne football their only loss of the year, you know, that'll be interesting to see if both teams are able to advance on tomorrow night's games, what that might look like next Friday night.
It's 5-2 here early in the third set. A little back and forth action. Johnson to Brown. And Brown gets another kill. A spectacular senior night performance from Chloe Brown. Megan Johnson in, Dodds back in for Albrecht and Engel. And another kill by the Mustangs, 7-2. That was Bogenreef who just kind of slapped it
I was
over the
going to say
net
that
there.
was
That was
just a swat,
Yeah.
and it climbed over the net and just proved to be one of those areas that no one could get to.
That is out. Oh, never mind. It
Oh,
was
that's gonna
deflected.
be
It was deflected
deflected.
by the Mustangs, so it is going to be a point for the Huskies. 7-3.
No, now the referees will confer. No,
Yep,
they're
and they
saying that
overturned it.
Was
8-2.
not touched by a Mustang.
Doctor gets it over for the Huskies. Johnson sets it to Bogenreef.
Handled by Wohlers.
Doctor again with the hit. Great effort there by Bogenreef. Keeps it alive. Brown gets it over for the Mustangs. Hard hit in the
There
middle
you
there,
go.
and that's a kill by the Huskies. A much needed one.
Nice job by Kaler there.
Schroeder over to Doctor. Johnson to Brown once again. Wohlers reacts to it. That was way up there. Huskies failed to return it. It's 9-3 now. Terhark and Coulter in now.
Coulter to serve. You see her stats on the screen there. 22 aces this year, 130 digs. On the board, there you go. Finds the back zone. And here we go, 9-4 Huskies.
Leah DeVries serving for the Wahpeton Huskies. Number 13, 5'7" junior. Coulter to Bogenreef. And Bogenreef, oh! Almost.
Great
That's-
reaction.
wow.
Great effort by the Huskies there, but just too much on that.
I believe that was Schroeder
Yeah.
who reacted to that. If only that thing just curved back to the left, would have been nice. But that was a hard hit by Reagan Bogenreef. And Johnson's just able to hit down on that. Easy kill for Johnson. Doctor unable to get there. Oh, serving error, miss hit.
Quick shameless plug here, Jackson. Hattie Doctor, relative of mine, my cousin's daughter. It's good to see him tonight. So hello in Wahpeton to all of the doctors that are down there. (12-5) Mustangs up and Engel on to serve.
Engel unable to get to that.
Nice job by Bonchus.
Mustang fans, as always, make sure that you do subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get notifications on when we go live. We also have social media pages on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Our social media guy, Riley Rar, he's always up posting a lot of posts, updating you guys on what's going on for Mustang athletics. (12-7). Albrecht with the hit there, and that was deflected. But it is going to result in the Mustang point there. Albrecht with the kill.
Chloe Brown, Brooke Johnson on for the Mustangs. Brooke Johnson to serve.
A lot of rotating here in the third set.
Yep.
up being an ace. That was
skips over the net, catches the line, and another ace for Brooke Johnson.
lucky break.
Even good teams need good luck once in a while.
Absolutely.
That one will be long. Another point for the Mustangs.
Deflected up front. Wasdorp is able to get to that. Johnson to Bogenreef. Great recovery. To Wasdorp, and she paints the line, the back line, and gets the kill. Blocked.
Blocked once again at the net.
That was by Albrecht and Brown.
Yeah, I couldn't tell which one got it.
Actually, that didn't get over the net, Dan. It looks like it did, but it was a point for the Huskies.
Okay.
I saw on the replay there, it was like, oh, never mind. That was a Huskies point. Albrecht and Brown did get their hands on it, obviously, but that was, the ball fell on the Mustang side.
A little long on that one by Schaefer.
Point Huskies. Schaefer with the kill. Engel with the great dig. Set to Bogenreef, great decision. Soft touch, fools the Huskies. Got two defenders to fall for that.
Handled by Wasdorp.
Doctor's hit is blocked. Huskies are able to return a great dig there.
Oh.
It's just tapped around the net, but it is going to be an error, and the Huskies will get the point.
Megan Johnson looking for the touch there, and just not enough to get it over the net. 18-10, the Mustangs lead. Schroeder into serve for the Huskies. Sorry. Left-handed by Bogenreef.
Wow. It was a good one, too.
Yeah, it was. Great job adjusting in the air. Huskies keep the rally alive.
Bogenreef gets the kill. Switches back to her dominant hand. 19-10.
But still a little, the set was such that she couldn't go at it for a traditional kill. And, that shows the athleticism of some of these Mustang players, that adjustment in the air on both occasions and making a good choice by Bogenreef there. And not a lot of athletes are able to do something like that.
Yeah, if you can use both hands, you definitely have an advantage, whether that's basketball or volleyball.
Absolutely.
Certainly it's got to be intimidating for a pitcher in baseball if you got to deal with a hitter who can hit from both sides of the plate.
Dug out by Dodds. In the back row, Wasdorp.
Nice little rally here building. Coulter fakes him out with her.
Great job. Catches them not looking. Everyone preparing for the set. And
She is good at that.
And the coming kill and just catches Wahpeton a little flat-footed there.
Coulter is good at that fake set. got the whole Husky squad to bite for that.
So 20-12 now here in set number 3.
Great effort in the back row.
Oh, good
Great
touch.
fake by Wasdorp.
Bellbank Mortgage is proud to support West Fargo Cheyenne sports. Whether you're in the classroom, at home, or both, we hope you're inspired this year to push yourself beyond what you even imagined. And never stop learning. Go Mustangs, Bellbank Mortgage, equal housing lender.
Kill there by Lexi Terhark.
One of the few that Woolers wasn't able to handle tonight. She's been all over, been on the floor a lot.
Most certainly. The digs she's made.
Yeah, providing a lot of good senior leadership for the Huskies. Oh, and just inside the back line. Great job by Albrecht.
A little lob serve from Engel. Catches the Huskies off guard. They are able to return it. Terhark.
Great
Woolers
set.
able to react. Oh, miscommunication.
And, yeah. That'll bring up match point. Mustangs leading here in the third set, 24-12.
Engel looking to close it out. Another lob serve. Right to Woolers. Blocked up front. Elbrecht's able to react to it. Wasdorp, great kill to sweep the Huskies. And the Mustangs take set number 3, 25-12. And that will do it for, home gains for the Mustangs. This year they improved to 28-2. They got one more, Dan, and that's against West Fargo next Tuesday. And that was a great, quality win over the Huskies. Just taking care of business, as, that's been our slogan with the volleyball team. Just taking care of business, one game at a time.
It really has been. They played solid from start to finish on a night that's, is going to be emotional, especially for these senior athletes. Well-deserved way to finish off their home season here. As you said, a big one still looming with West Fargo, even though the number 1 seed is locked up by the Mustangs. They certainly they would love to run the table, and what better way to finish off the season than to beat your crosstown rivals. And West Fargo's been on a hot streak. Second place right now in the EDC. They've got that big one against Sheyenne and a 2-pointer then also next week against Red River. So not everything's settled yet in terms of those seedings, but then will come the play-in games, and the next time we'll have a broadcast for you involving volleyball should be on Tuesday, November 8th. When Sheyenne will be hosting somebody. We won't know for sure.
It's going to be the winner of the number 8 seed and number 9 seed game.
So, really, we've used a lot of superlatives this year, Jackson, to describe, how well this team plays. They play together. They don't lose focus. They take care of business. They stay with themselves. Really, for Coach Newton, congratulations to her on what's been a terrific season. We've joked before, when they get together at home, what's the discussion like at the dinner table between Jeremy Newton, head coach of the Mustangs football team, and Leah Newton, coach of the volleyball team. Both have had incredibly successful programs, and I'm sure Leah would like to join Jeremy and add her own state championship to the Newton household.
Absolutely, and it's going to be, it was good to be able to knock the rust off, Dan, for our commentator. It's been a couple weeks off, and it was good to be back up here with you. You were on vacation, I was on vacation. It was a good break, and Knodel and Wallstrom stepped up, and the broadcast against Amanda, and it's going to be exciting to call a football playoff game with you tomorrow night against two teams that have had a lot of history in the past few seasons, Bismarck Century and West Fargo Sheyenne.
Absolutely. A lot of history, and you would think, with Sheyenne defeating Century only a few weeks ago, that this one is, might look on paper to be a win for the Mustangs, but, certainly don't count out Ron Wingenbach, and he knows how to win, and he's going to have his team ready to go, and certainly we know Coach Newton will as well. So that'll be a great one tomorrow night if you're able to join us for a 6:30 kickoff.
It's just crazy to think the Mustangs, they're looking for their 4th straight Dakota Bowl appearance. I mean, they've been to the past 3. They dropped 2 against Bismarck Century in 2019, 2020. Century, those were dominant years. I mean, they went undefeated in both of those times that the Mustangs lost to them. But the Mustangs were able to, snap Century's 29-game winning streak last season and get over the hump, 3rd time's the charm, and beat West Fargo in the state championship, which was really exciting, 27-7. And now they're having another great season, and it's they're the favorite, obviously, but it's going to be exciting to see, how can they execute another playoff run.
Yeah, it all starts tomorrow night with the playoffs. So we're hoping you'll be able to join us for that. And also the next time that we're on the mic for the volleyball match that the Mustangs will host in the quarterfinals of the EDC tournament on November 8th.
That's going to do it for tonight's senior night broadcast here between the Mustangs and the Wahpeton Huskies. The Mustangs get another sweep, 25-15, 25-10, 25-12. As I said earlier in the broadcast, make sure you subscribe to Mustang Media here on YouTube so you can get notifications on when we go live. As there's Mr. Bodell zooming in zoomed in there with the camera. Anyways, and always check out our social media pages Riley Rahr is running. He updates you guys on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Facebook mostly for the parents, but we also have Instagram and Twitter that you can check out. And yeah, another to finish off the home game stretch for the Mustangs. They finish it off strong, and they'll have one more against West Fargo next Tuesday, and then it's postseason action for volleyball. So for Jackson Miller,
I'm Dan Wolf.
Mustang Media. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for the playoff game for football between the Mustangs and the Bismarck Century Patriots.
Bye.